Will AMP always have to create new tokens, or will it get to a point where there are enough funds and tokens from buying and selling that it no longer needs to mint anymore?
So you've used a word that doesn't really have an economic meaning, and that word is need. So this is what I tell my students. There is really no such thing as need. There is want, right? Need might be a very strongly expressed want, or it might be a conditional. I need a car. Well, really what you're saying is that if I don't have a car, I can't get to work, right? So it's a conditional. Or maybe you want a car very bad. All right. So need sort of has a what we would call a normative context. It's not really clear what a need would be. So what we're trying to do is craft a policy that achieves a purpose, right? And the one that I described here is far from unique. There are lots of different ways one could approach it. The parameterizations are not magic by any means. In fact, I chose these parameters because they seem to be plausibly proportionate with the objective of the AMP. There is no empirical evidence here. This has never been done before. So there's no empirical basis for saying that this is the best policy, the right policy, the optimal policy. Don't know what exactly the right thing to do is, but it seems to me that this is proportionate. Now, if you're thinking of, the question is, would we ever be able to stop it? Well, yes. In fact, we would also be able never to start it. So the question is, when do you start? Well, the current plan is to start probably at least. Well, the current plan is not. We don't have a current plan, honestly, but our thinking here is that we will certainly not start it sooner than a year after mainnet launches. That's the current thinking, and we might use whatever unissued tokens are unreleased. They're all issued, but unreleased tokens. Release those slowly as sort of a pseudo AMP to build up resources and things like that. It may be more than a year. We're not fixed on that. Part of the value of the AMP, though, is its certainty. So if it becomes uncertain, if we don't know if we're going to do it, we might stop it. Well, that detracts a lot of its value, because now you say, supported up till now, but now it's free. Now it's going to happen. I can attack it again. Or I don't really know how much is going to be used to defend against an attack. So consistency and transparency are something that support the effectiveness of any kind of monetary policy. Having said that, though, there isn't anything magic about anything here. It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen in this way. It could stop at any point if you decided it would. Our plan is not to. Our plan is to be consistent, to do what we said we were going to do. And I just point out that in the event that we have collected too much, we have as much as we need, whatever need means. In that event, the only way that could ever happen is if we've really been successful. If the value of BEAC has gone up to such an extent that there's this very large fiat reserve that is there to defend it. And to me, this again should give people comfort. If there's a whole bunch of fiat sitting there waiting to defend any kind of price decrease, well, that's an asset that is much less risky to hold, and also much less risky to attack, and much more useful in the ordinary uses in commerce. The answer, I guess, again, yes, we could, but we probably almost surely will not, because that would defeat the purpose of certainty.